Hello everyone, welcome to the after party for the launch of this incredible new single from Stornoway and the film that goes with it. I'm Robert McFarlane, I'm a writer. I've been listening to the music of these folk for the best part of a decade, and I've met them for the first time tonight here at the Cherry Hinton Folk Festival under an enormous oak tree, but also in a porter cabin. So congratulations all of you. I'm listening to myself there. Yeah, congratulations, that was fabulous. And well, first of all, why did you cover a Bjork song?
So that was me, really. That's kind of it's a bit of a long story, really. But we've taken a long break from music, really. We sort of split up as a band in 2017 with our farewell tour. And it took me a long time to rediscover songwriting, and it was really the pandemic. I think, like for lots of people, it kind of just opened up a bit of space, and I had a new shed as well. So the combination of pandemic and new shed meant that I finally, started to explore creativity again, and Bjork was my way in, really. She's just such an inspiring artist. I mean, for so many writers, for so many songwriters, and no one really covers Bjork. She's just so unique and puts such a kind of stamp on anything she does. But I think it's kind of people are sort of, I don't know, maybe daunted to go there, and maybe I should have been too. But I thought I'm going to challenge myself, and this could be my way back into songwriting, is to try a cover and try, arranging some music in the shed, and I just got really sucked into it. And so it turned out, as you just heard, a very different sound. It's kind of, I don't know, we brought in real acoustic instruments. So Bjork's original is an amazing electronic, kind of quite digital sound, and so we've kind of made it our own, really, and sort of had a play with that and sent it to John, and John, started to add piano and what else? I don't know, organ.
And you added Yijia after a while. We got Yijia on the line, and Yijia's voice is in there as well as her vision. Hi Yijia, hope you can hear us.
Hi everyone.
That was absolutely awesome. It was beautiful to see you.
Thank you so much.
I was thinking about the shift to acoustic from kind of electro fantasia, and also a big shift in tone, sort of visual style in the film. I mean, so Susie, you played violin, and you also directed the film. In fact, I could have seen Bjork in that forest as well. I think she would have loved it, but you were there. Tell us about the decisions you made around that.
Yeah, we wanted somewhere naturally beautiful, didn't we? And Brian, actually, you had a connection with Whiting Woods, so we were quite tight schedule. So I thought, where can we get access, and where it's very beautiful, where it's very beautiful and natural. So the woods, and then a nearby wildflower meadow.
Yeah.
And so you got us access there because you used to you worked there after your.
That's right. Yeah. So after I finished my my undergraduate studies at Oxford, I got a job with the Edward Gray Institute of Field Ornithology, and they've got this incredible study there that's been going. It's the longest running study on any wild animal in the world. I think it's something like 75 years or something. It's a continuous research on great tits and blue tits that use the nest boxes there, and so I was part of that just as a field assistant. But it was like my first job, and it was just glorious. I worked through the spring with the bluebells, checking the nest boxes, checking the nests and seeing how the young were doing, and to be part of that study was really, really special. But yes, so I've still got connections, really. Yeah. So.
And then Ollie actually showed me Yijia's videos, and Yijia, you sent me more of your own artwork, and that's what inspired me with her. This beautiful dance is Chinese classical dance, which I think Yijia you studied, And so then I spoke to her on the phone, and I looked at some of these videos, and it's the beautiful water sleeves. You think this Chinese dress where the arms sort of bellow out.
Yeah.
And I thought actually that's an amazing combination to have this ethereal presence of Yijia, her lines that come in the song. It's sort of an alter ego maybe to Brian. So that sort of ethereal, she dances through the guys, and yeah, I loved her dancing. So I thought, why don't you just combine those?
So you get water in the woods, as it were. You get, and you get the what's it? Edward Thomas calls wood the fifth element, and so you've got two of the five. There's a comment here from Andy H. Yijia's silky voice blends beautifully with Brian's soaring tones. A great sound and very much feel a feminine voice complements Stornoway's unique music. So that's great. And people are listening, please drop questions in the chat, comments, thoughts, and I can relay them to the band. Nature. For you, I mean, I feel it's run through the band's music from the beginning.
Yeah, for all of us, it's a way of retreating and resetting. And going back to the first album, the song "We Are the Battery Human" is really overtly about reconnecting and retuning into nature. I come from South Africa, so I have a different set of wild birds and fauna and flora to reconnect with when I can go back there. But I've grown to love the British landscape as well. And I've learned a lot from just being in the band and doing that kind of hiking we do before the gigs, or hanging out with Brian.
Is that standard?
Oh yeah. Back in the day, touring in Scotland, we would honestly go out for, or Wisconsin, there was a really good hike where we all got bitten by ticks.
Right.
we were in
wolf territory there.
You were in wolf ticks. They were serious ticks.
Yeah, we found a porcupine, didn't we? Yes.
But you just kind of you've come to know. Do you write songs while walking? Do you talk songs through while walking, or is it more the birds?
Very much so. For me, it's a really powerful way of, I don't know, working through lyrics and finding, rhymes, and once I've got, I don't think I could kind of start from scratch while walking. Although sometimes I'll get an idea while walking, but certainly as a bit of space for working through stuff. I do like walking. I think if it's running, it's too much. I can't focus then. But yeah, it is. I love. We all enjoy walking, for sure. Yeah.
And you do a little biking job. Would you? I know that's a bit more dangerous, but the old Benedict has lie. Yeah, okay, I'll go with it. Okay. When I'm going cycling, I cycle a long way each day to get to work. And I come up with little snippets on the bike, but I soon realise how dangerous it is to try do anything with that.
Yeah, you get the pen and pencil notebook out on the bike, things go wrong pretty quickly. We got a question from Tom Granville. Thank you very much. Keep questions coming. Just joined a bit late. How long did it take to get the piano into the woods, and is it still there? Love the new single video. Great question. Thank you, Tom.
I think
it's a small piano, but surprisingly, it was probably heavier than a normal sized piano. It took a lot of sweat and tears.
You picked it up. So tell the story the night before. You bought it online, didn't you?
Yeah, I bought it on Gumtree, and then.
Oh wow!
There was a short list of pianos, wasn't there?
Yeah, I was saying maybe not this.
It was
one,
all
maybe
about
this
where
one.
they were.
I was going to say geographically filtered
And the size, because it needed to fit in your van, and then it needed to be, usable for future use.
So it came back out of the woods.
Managed to get it back in the van, and it came back to Wales with me, and I've got a great video of my son playing it in the van, and now it's getting daily use in my house, I'm pleased to say. But it's a nice, lovely sounding little piano. But I'm just glad it wasn't any bigger.
It was a killer.
What about the day? So I mean, you obviously had that incredible light coming through the beech leaves. There's that very particular cut colour of the green. Trouble with the green. It's not trouble. It's wonder of the green, because it looks like May to me. I don't know. It has that kind of bright spring light through young leaves.
Very end of
Or early June. But
Yeah, you're right though.
Yeah.
And amazing camera work. Have to shout out to Sam Artley, the director of photography. I mean, he had In fact, he had a lens, a 50mm lens that's called the Dream lens that we used for the shots of Yijia. So you've got all out of focus, this warm, and then the grade, we also graded it, so it's got that dream-like warmth to it. But yeah, you're right. We always get the camera looking at the light in the right way. So it's diffused through the...
And out in the meadow was...
Oh, it was boiling.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
You can tell that's why I remember it was June. It wasn't quite May.
Right. There was no shade out there.
No shade. It was a very hot day, wasn't it?
Yeah.
How long
Ollie did a good... Well, it was a day's filming, sort of 8 till 5 or something. Ollie did a great job trying to shield Yijia with a big board in the middle of it, out of shot, obviously. But he did a good job, Ollie.
Yeah.
Susie and I went into the woods the day before to try and find a good location, and he mentioned the beech trees because I don't think there's anything like the spring light through beech trees when they're still kind of that fresh pale green. But yeah, they then get quite a dense, thick green, don't they? The beech, and so actually the carpet, the ground flora was pretty, thin on the ground there. Yeah, which is what Susie was looking for, and again the kind of cleanness of the beech trunks. They're very kind of clean. So yeah, Susie was talking about those trees look nice and contemporary or something.
I was using completely the wrong terminology for Brian. You were laughing at me. I like the modern, sort of modern lines.
Yeah. I think like the silver birch wins the modernity contest. It's like super stripped back, but I think beech comes second. And also there's this disputed etymology that beech, the German word for beech, Bock, gives us book, because they've always been written on, like things of what they've always been very close to creativity as a tree, I think. I always think of them as a very generous and a gentle tree. They kind of reach down and pick you up if you try and climb them. So I loved seeing you moving around in a beech wood. It felt really true to the work.
Are they a notoriously good nesting spot for mosquitoes? And you're all wrecky the night before, didn't you get eaten alive?
Yeah, you took one for the team, right? Yeah, you fed them all. Blood meal. Yeah. The next day, was it all right? Was it all right the next day, or were there a few around?
One or two.
One or two.
A few dates in.
Yeah. We've got a couple more questions coming in, if you'd like to pass on. So, Sarah, Pete, thank you very much. Will Yijia be joining you for the gigs? And how will you perform this beautiful song on tour, open brackets, without a beech wood? Almost.
That is a really good question, and I think we're having audio troubles with Yijia's connection. Sorry,
Can
we can
you
see you.
still hear me?
And, give us a thumbs up, but you're here with us in spirit.
Okay, you can hear me, right?
We are
Okay,
taking Yijia
that's
out
fine.
on tour. We're really thrilled to make that happen. We will also have a guzheng on tour, which is the zither instrument that she plucks in this song. So we'll pretty much be reimagining the track as you hear it on the album.
Yeah.
Although we couldn't do it tonight because we don't have Yijia here. Here at Cambridge Folk Festival, we're playing some new tracks from the album, but not that one.
Okay, that's great. We've got lots of questions, so I'll move on. Great single as usual. Looking forward to the gig next Saturday. What was the thinking behind keeping it a secret?
The undisclosed location next Saturday.
Oh, I see. Then, we're playing a gig in the Gower where I live next weekend, and it's going to be one of our unplugged gigs. So that means it's kind of a stripped down acoustic arrangement, and it's a private home. So that's why it's a secret. So we're just letting the ticket holders know where we're going to perform. This a really spectacular location. And we're going to be performing for the first time in a static caravan, but with the side removed. So I'm quite excited because I think John might end up being in the kitchen. So need a bit of space for the keyboards and things. And one of us, Ollie, will be possibly on the loo, if not in the toilet. Yeah, it's a lovely spot with the marsh, the salt marsh behind.
Wow.
There's a storyteller coming to do the bits in between the support and us, and he's called Owen Staten. Very exciting kind of ghost stories predominantly that he tells, and he's from the local area, so
wow.
Very excited to see him.
Wow. The people are going to be clamouring for tickets to that. I was worried that we'd broken the secret of the secret. Yeah, no, it's fine. It's okay.
It's sold out, unfortunately.
Okay.
So
Okay.
it's just
Ross Jensby, thank you from the States. Love all of the new songs and can't wait for the album. No question, just
thank
praise.
you, Ross. Well, I hope to make it over there one day soon.
You got some of the distance there when you went to St Kilda recently.
That's true.
I'll come back to that. I got you 40 miles west into the Atlantic.
Right.
But, so Melody asks, what can we expect from the album?
Oh, well, we had a lot of fun making it. I mean, I think we felt a real freedom making it because we didn't, when we started, it wasn't even a Stornoway thing. It was just purely, rediscovering songwriting and enjoying the process and, really painting with music. So it was kind of just trying out lots of different sounds and just really getting lost in the process. And I think that really comes through in the album in that it's a diverse record. And we also got this guy, Mike Lindsay, involved, who is an amazing mixing engineer and producer. And he's added a lot of his own personality because he also enjoys playing. And I think he's kind of added a lot of kind of texture and, brought things to the fore that we wouldn't necessarily have picked out ourselves. And I think you can hear that in the new single today. You can hear sort of details, like there's a bit of Ollie's bass part that suddenly comes up close in your ears. And it's just kind of been, he's been really adventurous with it, and I think we've enjoyed that. And yeah, so I think it's... Oh, that's true.
Loads, yeah.
How many have you got?
This is Sam Lee.
Sam's on it?
Yeah.
Oh, great.
We've got Fife Dangerfield, and who was in the band called the Guillemots, and recently collaborated with us on a show in London in April. He played the most fantastic set and a duo with Brian.
Yeah.
Yijia, of course. Thanks, Yijia. You're still there. You, but
Very much here.
And then my personal favourite would be the
can
track
hear
Dig
me.
Mountain. So that is the title track, and it's got a little exclamation mark at the end. I think we went with that.
Yeah.
We've done that before. Film Appalachia was the other one. But yeah, we'll play that tonight. Is it worth talking about the title track and anything particular?
Yeah, can do. I mean, that was that's again one of the first ones that I wrote after this Bjork cover. After working on this, and this is a song that was inspired by my son, particularly when he was a bit younger. But he used to kind of come into my bedroom early in the morning when he was little and chant this: dig, dig, dig the mountain blood, dig the mountain blood, and then he'd pull the covers off and he'd basically force the day to begin.
Wow.
And it was horrific, but he's I don't know. I think this song kind of brings a bit of his personality in the lyrics. It starts with the scene of him wanting to hack the head of the pilot whale, which was washed up on the beach in the Gower where I live. So I managed to dissuade him. But yeah, it starts with the imagery of him with a spade.
Wow. Wow. I can see why there's an exclamation mark. We've got a few more coming in. I'll keep these. So, like single very much. Brilliant Yijia, really looking forward to your presence in the band in October. Listened to some of the old songs recently, was amazed at how evocative they were. How old is your son now?
He's 11.
He's 11.
Yeah.
So when was he digging the mountain?
So that was
your bed?
a few years ago. I think it's kind of 3 or 4 you would have been doing that. So
It stayed with you though, clearly.
That memory, yeah.
It's gonna stay with it, exactly. Sarah asks, how long do we have to wait for the next single and indeed the whole album to be released? So.
Good question.
Not as long. I mean, we've got lots going on, haven't we, between now and September. So the album's going to be 8th of September.
Great.
And there's a lot happening between now and then. I can't give too much away because there's another big surprise.
Okay.
But and we'll definitely have a new single. In fact, Dig the Mountain hopefully might be one at some point. So we're going to be quite busy between now and then.
Okay, amazing. There's a few more things coming on. Keep them coming in if you can. So you were on St Kilda, this incredible archipelago of islands that is basically the most westerly outcrop, I suppose, of what we call the British Isles. But it feels like it predates any notion of nation or politics. It's just a one of the wildest spaces in the world, arguably. And you just back from
1, 2, 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, well, I didn't spend quite that long on the island, but yeah, my adventure took that long, and it was a real privilege to be there because I think exactly as you say, it
Probably
felt
can't
like
hear me, can you? I
wildest
can
space
see
ever.
it turn
You know,
green.
it's so exposed, and there were a couple of gales when I was there, and you know, I just loved that sense of feeling properly battered, you know, by the elements, and you're right in terms of, you know, the history and politics as well, because you've got this abandoned village there from a community that lived for thousands of years without real contact with the outside world, and they had their own parliament. They'd meet every morning and chat about, you know, what they were going to do each day, and they survived by climbing down these insane cliffs, like the biggest cliffs in British Isles. When I stood on those cliffs, I actually felt a bit sick. You know, it's kind of just amazing.
They're pulling you, aren't they, towards the edge of those cliffs?
They do seem to draw you. Yeah, and it was just amazing to learn that these people would collect birds and eggs from the cliffs. They'd climb down these cliffs and survive through these, you know, must be incredibly wild winters without much sunlight, and survive on dried seabirds and things. And the impression that I've got from, you know, the museum there and the information I found is that it was quite a harmonious community of people there, and they must have really, you know, I mean, you couldn't get a more close-knit community, could you, in terms of what they had to go through. It was just one little strip of houses, and that was it for thousands of years. So, yeah, a privilege to go, and absolutely, and the wildlife as well. I mean, I could talk for a long time about the wildlife. Yeah, it was very special. Yeah, biggest puffin colony in Britain, biggest fulmar colony in Britain. You know, gannets. It's just amazing.
And bonksies.
And bonksies. Yeah. That's an experience I won't forget. They've been attacked.
they bombed you. Yeah,
they did very much so. Yeah.
So I'm just hearing that the audience can hear Yijia. So I think that means if I ask Yijia, or if you guys want to ask Yijia a question or two, then the audience will be able to hear her response. It'll be wonderful to hear your voice. But Yijia, we can't hear you. So
I'm sorry.
Maybe I will just start by asking you how you came to be involved in appearing with Stornoway and what it felt like to make that track.
Yeah, sure. Hi, everyone. I'm so excited to be part of this, and I hope at least some of you can hear me. So it's been a dream come true, really, because I love Stornoway's music. So for me, it's really, really exciting being from a fan to a collaborator. And also, it's been really exciting doing the track, recording the music video. I try and keep my dancing like more of a hidden talent, you know, if you can ever call it talent. So for me, it's been very exciting to see that play out in the beautiful music video with Susie, and also see what happens on tour, because I think we can play some beautiful acoustic versions together. And also adding the Chinese zither and the other kind of vocal stuff that I do. So it's been really exciting. And even though, you know, what I do, I guess, is from Chinese culture, because we're all part of, you know, the bigger indie folk part of world. And I think we try and, you know, celebrate both our roots, but also our connection through music together. So it's been a very, very exciting process.
Okay, and in fact, this question coming specifically for Yijia from the audience. What's your favourite Stornoway track, song, apart from the new one that you actually feature in? So yeah.
Oh, that's a great question. It's so hard to pick because I love, obviously, I love all the Stornoway tracks. I have to say, because I did a special gig with Brian with the Nightingales, like an acoustic set, and it was very, very special when he played Farewell Appalachia, like acoustically live next to me, like with a bonfire, and I just couldn't stop listening to the song ever since, and it's just a special, very magical song. But I shouldn't have favoritism. All the songs are amazing. But yeah, it's just I love Brian's voice, and as a songwriter, it's just amazing, how he's able to create these beautiful melodies. Yeah.
Okay, thanks, Yijia. Thanks so much. Really glad to bring your voice directly into the conversation here.
Thank you.
A Bonksy question. I mean,
Yeah.
in several senses. So Laurie says, have you integrated any bird and nature sounds, field recordings, I guess, into any of your new songs in similar ways to Bonksy?
We have, yeah, not quite to the same extent as the album Bonksy, but yes, there will be birdsong on the new album. I'm trying to think what other sounds we've got on there. Oh, we've got some gravel. We've got some Welsh gravel. Yeah,
Welsh gravel.
Yeah,
Okay.
and we've got some
Nice
good bit of clanking and shoveling and
Just inanimate objects this time. Is there a cannon as well? Yeah, cannon.
yeah. I mean, we always enjoy a bit of fun with percussion and field. Yeah, exactly. Just recording.
No Christmas this time.
No,
It's the first album.
Do you make the bird recordings yourself?
No, not always. No, I mean, we've got for Bonksy, the last album, we got the help of some field recordists on via the Zeno Canto website, which is amazing website, amazing resource. If anyone is anyone interested in bird song, that's the place to go really for great recordings. And I've got swallows in my shed at the moment outside where I record. So that I've sort of taken snippets of they've got an amazing song. If you hear it, it's kind of unusual to hear swallows unless you're right by the nest. But yeah, they're great singers as well. So no, big influence as ever. But birdsong doesn't feature quite as much this time.
Okay, fantastic. Michelle, thanks very much. A very specific question. Loving the new track. It's just beautiful. But, and the vocals at the beginning of Bag in the Wind, what are they saying? Ooh, triple question.
Okay, this is a Swana phrase, and it means Chelani, which is the name. Your mother is calling you. And I thought I would be able to translate it because Tswana is a very similar language to Zulu, which I learned growing up, and Xhosa. But it's just over a border or two different, and I had to ask for help. Despite being from South Africa. But yeah, nailed it in the end, and it's
It's a great question.
Good question.
Yeah, really. So perhaps just a couple of questions left, a couple of minutes, then we'll sum up. And well, here's an easy one. Oh no, we've touched on this. Any plans to tour the States? Hopefully, maybe.
That's just about as far as we can go at the moment, isn't it?
yeah, we're California scheming at this point.
California scheming. That's wonderful. And anything, Susie, you'd like to add about the album, about fiddling away with these guys?
Yeah, well, it's a privilege and pleasure to play with you as always. I'm looking forward to our gig tonight. It's a late one, but we're up for it, aren't we?
10 o'clock?
Absolutely.
10:25.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
Yeah. No, we're thrilled to be back at the Cambridge Folk Festival. It's been a while. So.
And real pleasure to meet you today. Thanks.
Yeah, thank you so much.
It's a pleasure. I'll just end maybe by saying it feels quite emotional. It's quite. I know it's been a journey coming back, and just we're going back to your shed, like the crucible of creativity that is a shed with swallows, where you take Bjork and transform that into something very, very different that you've all made, but also find your own ways back as a band and back into songwriting. And I sense this is a big year for you all.
Absolutely, it's just really enjoying playing music again together and doing it for the right reasons. It's just which is for the love of creating and performing, and we're just enjoying it.
Beautiful. All right, that seems like a wonderful moment to end. Thank you everybody who's been here celebrating the launch of the new single and the video that goes with it. Thank you, Yijia. Thanks so much. And,
thank you so much, everyone.
Thanks for tuning in, everyone.
Thank you. See you on tour.